Hey, I'm Dr. Mark Rosenberg, and today I'm going to talk to you about homeopathy. Homeopathy was discovered in 1769 in Germany by a doctor named Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, and he used two ancient Greek principles, like cures like and less is more, to formulate a system of wellness that is still effective today. In fact, modern medicine, which is called allopathic medicine, is based on homeopathic principle. Interesting. So what does that mean? Like cures like, less is more. Less is more. A small amount of a substance that causes a symptom will have the opposite effect in the body. So to make it simple, this is a Highlands brand. There are several brands. There's Boriki and Tafel. There's Boron. I just happen to have these in the house. This is Highlands. Allium cepa, which in Latin means onion. So if you have an onion and you eat it or tear it open, it causes your nose to run and your eyes to tear. In the homeopathic solution, I'll explain how it's made. What it does is it has the opposite effect. It stops your nose from running and it stops your eyes from tearing. So less is more, like cures like. So it's the same thing. This is allium cepa is the same as onion. Okay, less is more. Now this is so like cures like and less is more. How do they make this? They take a small amount of onion and they put it in a test tube. This is the way they used to make it. I'm not quite sure how the factory's doing it today. And they would put a little bit in a vial of water and put it in a centrifuge, which is a machine that spins very fast at very high RPM. And it would get all mixed up. In the old days, they used to just shake it up by hand. Then they take 1/10 of that liquid and put it in with 90% water. Then they shake it up again. Now it's 1/10 as strong. Then they take 1/10 of that liquid, put in 90% water, and shake it up again, or spin it around in the centrifuge. Now it's 1/100th as strong. And they keep doing it till it's 1/30,000th of its original strength. That's why it's labeled 30x. So in this microdose, it has the opposite effect in the body. Now, this is where the idea for immunizations came from. Give somebody a small amount of polio, it has the opposite effect in the body. Give somebody a small amount of any substance, and it'll have the opposite effect in the body. So they did that with smallpox. They did that with all kinds of things. Although over the years, immunization has changed to inoculation, and that's a whole topic that I don't want to get into right now. Immunization with small trace amounts of substances to have the opposite effect in the body, like homeopathy. Inoculation is just giving way too much of a substance to have a certain effect, but that's a whole debate I don't want to get into. Today's discussion is about homeopathy. Now, in my book, you've read my book, of course, I talk about several homeopathic remedies relative to muscular exertion. One of them is called Arnica montana. And Arnica montana is it means mountain flower. If you ate the flower, it would give you a very sore muscles, okay, and you feel achy. In the homeopathic dose, it has the opposite effect. So you could use it. This is how you take them. You don't touch them because that seems to denature them. Skin oils make them weaker. You take 4 of them right here. Can you see that? And you put them under your tongue and you let them dissolve. And that is for muscle soreness and bruising. A few years ago, I broke my arm. Excuse me. And the very forward-thinking surgeon told me to take Arnica montana to deal with the bruising that I was going to have after my surgery. I broke it. Anyway, Arnica montana for muscle soreness and bruising is a common remedy. Many of the complaints and questions I get on this YouTube channel are pertaining to that, so you might want to research that yourself. And there's no interaction with any drugs. There's no known side effects. It's been around for several hundred years, and they're inexpensive. I think this is like $8 for 250 tablets. Now, the next one that I'm going to show you is called Rhus toxicendrin. Now, Rhus toxicendrin is for, it says on right here, for arthritis pain. So this is good for pain deeper in the joint. So where the arnica might overlyingly get the soreness out of the muscle, the Rhus gets deeper into the joint itself. Okay, those are some things. Those are two as they pertain to body aches for those of you stretching. And there are other ones. My daughter, she's now 21. She was raised on chiropractic and homeopathy. I mean, that's how I took care of her. Allium cepa is for runny nose, as I discussed. Belladonna is one of my favorites for fevers and inflammation. So if people have a headache, their head feels swollen, particularly in this flu season. Belladonna is a great way to knock it down quite a bit. The belladonna tree, if you ate the flower, it would give you a fever and a really bad headache. And it's actually very toxic. If somebody was very old or if it was a child, the belladonna plant could harm them greatly, kill them maybe, who knows. But in the homeopathic remedy, it does the opposite. It stops fevers and headaches. So that's good to know. There you go. And Nux vomica, which is for indigestion and nausea. That doesn't happen to me too much, but it's interesting. Homeopathic remedies work on animals as well. My dog woke up this morning and he went outside and started eating some grass, and there's chlorophyll in the grass, which is calming on his stomach, which tells me that he probably has an upset tummy. Who knows why? So I gave him 4 of these and it stops it right away. You can give homeopathic remedies to animals as well. It's a very good thing. Highlands is the brand that I tend to get. They're locally available. Some of you can order them online. A couple of things you don't want to eat before or after for about 10-15 minutes. Coffee, toothpaste, wintergreen, that cancels the effects of homeopathic remedies. So you want to limit your intake of that if you're going to do it. In an acute phase, you could take every hour. Okay, and if you get the wrong one, if you should have a headache and you take the one for the runny nose, it's just not going to work. So there's no side effects. So you experiment. I found at different stages in my daughter's life, the allium cepa worked better for a runny nose. And then she got a little older, and there was another one called pulsatilla nigra. And I know this all sounds Greek to you. It's actually Latin. But once you get a little bit more comfortable, you could research online. You can go to the Highlands website and look to see what's there and read up on the symptoms. And I think that's all for today. You could research a lot of the issues that people have with their bodies can be helped tremendously from homeopathic remedies. Okay, thanks. And for those of you who are interested in the book, click on the link below. All right, bye-bye.